Rolling?
Yes. Give me the vape first.
Alright, what's up guys? It's Hoodoo Glad of RockwellMuzzzik. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my drug story. I've had a fairly bad background history with drugs. I first started getting into drugs when I was around late 14s. I believe I was in 7th, going into 8th grade summer, and I started smoking pot with Brandon, Two-Faced, and it was just really nothing. It was sort of just like a fun thing to do on the weekends, made us more creative, inspired us to do many, think outside the box. That's how we started RockwellMuzzzik and stuff, just smoking pot with our buddies and listening to music and all that. And marijuana had a good impact on my brain and a bad impact on my brain, because it made me, think outside. Like I said, think outside the beginning. When I was like 7th grade, it was like the end of summer, 7th grade. Towards the end of 7th grade is when we started smoking pot, and it was so fun. Every time we did it, man, it was like being in like in space, like in this alternate, like cool reality, like fucking, I can't even explain it. Like, it was so fun. And then about 2 years of just smoking every single day as much as we could, and that's when it started getting depressing. You can smoke too much weed, and that definitely can happen where it could be depressive and like that. I smoked so much, it fried my brain so much, it was doing the opposite every time I smoked then. It just making me down. I wouldn't get high, or I would just get depressed when I smoke, even more depressed. But I keep chasing that high because I wanted to feel something different from being sober. I wasn't used to living a sober life. And after doing that for about 2 years, I was drained, and I want to feel something. I'm an addict. I have a very addictive personality. I get addicted to shit real easily. I got addicted to weed like straight first time I hit it. You guys probably don't get addicted to weed, but that's just my personality. Not physically dependent, but mentally dependent on it. I needed it to get me through the day. Alright, but I could have went without it, without getting the sweats and shakes. Although I do know some people that had withdrawals like that would actually get sweats and shakes from marijuana withdrawal. But then you never know. 3 hours after, it was intense. It was like very intense, very crazy, very unique feeling, very unique experience, very just nothing I've ever tried. I only tried weed, but it was like a feeling and a thought process I've never encountered before. I can't, if you've done acid, you'll know what I'm talking about. You sort of get in this thinking of like what words mean and what they can mean, like spelling and different. You can get like really tripped out by stuff. Like, people trip over dumb shit. That's why they'll have you can tell when somebody's tripping, man. You just look at their eyes and what they're saying. It's very weird, and I feel like most people go through it, and it's like this stage of like you almost feeling like you're superhuman, and you have ability to do anything you want, change anything in the universe, and nobody would know about it. It's very fucking weird. People even say it's superhuman drug, and fuck, I felt a lot of, not superhero myself, but I went through a lot of weird shit that I can only explain with believing in a higher power, or superhuman strength to do whatever. And that'll be for others. After I started experimenting with acid, that wasn't even doing it for me. So I got into Xanax, and Xanax fucked me up, man. Xanax, I became so dependent on Xanax that I grew a tolerance for it, because you can grow a tolerance for Xanax easy. And I grew a tolerance. I'd have to take at least 3 to 5 bars a day to feel anything. I'd take 3 in the morning, 2 when I got home from school. I'd be walking through the school halls, like barely being able to walk. I just like every foot placement was such like just walking was a freaking struggle, man. Like it was hard. I was fucked out of my mind. And then I was taking a lot of Xanax. I was spending $400 every 2 weeks for my job on Xanax. You know, I'd be spending a fuck ton of money on Xanax. Nobody really knew because I kept it to myself, and most of the time I just do it all. I hid it. I didn't want anyone else to do it. You know, it was all mine. I don't want to sell them. I didn't want to give them away to my friends. And I hid that shit. You know, place in my fucking closet. And I took them every single day for a long time. And I was fucked up off them. You know, my most I've ever taken at one time was I don't even remember because I was out by then, but my friends told me like it could have been 15, could have been 20, because we all had picked up so many. It could be okay for this certain mind, but it's not my thing. And it's too powerful for me. But I didn't care because that high was so intense and it felt so cool every time I did it. I kept chasing for that. And I wanted to get to that high, whether it meant tripping off Benadryl, tripping off DXM, tripping off fucking, you know, anything. I would try to get that same high. The acid, because acid was only around for a certain amount of time. I only got to get my hands on it maybe 4 or 5 times, you know, and those 5 times fried my brain so much that I was talking crazy. I'd go on my phone and shit and just tweet random stuff just because I thought it was fucking hilarious. I don't even know. I'd post random shit on Instagram. I would just be doing so much weird stuff that I didn't even remember doing. It was like my mind was rewired or something, and somebody like took my brain and fucking hacked it or something. It was so weird. And that went on for a few months, and then my mom ended up putting me in a psych ward at Laurelwood for 2 weeks, you know, just to calm me down because I was acting crazy. You know, the cops took me. I was tripping balls. You know, I might have only done acid like around 5 or 6 times. Totally ghosted her. You know, because she wasn't about doing drugs. She didn't want to see me high. She didn't want to see me drunk. And at that time, all I could think about was partying every weekend, getting high every day. You know, remind myself, oh, it's just weed. I'm not doing Xanax. It's just alcohol. And you know, things happen, and I fucked that up, and that, you know, that depressed the hell out of me too, because I really liked that girl. She got a lot of hate, and I could relate to her because she had a lot of people out to get her, and I wanted to be there to comfort her, and I wanted to, you know, be, you know, her Prince Charming, and make her life great again, like it should be, instead of her, you know, being depressed because there's fucking mean 16-year-old girls on the internet calling you a whore and slut. And I fucked that up because I kept getting high, and I kept ghosting her, because every time I was high I'd be scared to even text her. You know, FaceTime when he sees my eyes or something, I just ignore her. So, oh, my girlfriend, whatever, I ignore it. He has like a party, drinking, oh, whatever, I don't care, I'll get to her later. And then that turned into just ghosting her entirely, because people try to change your opinion a lot because they don't know someone. That's what I came to know. And that can really affect someone, especially if they're vulnerable, the vulnerable mindset, and he'd do whatever he could to get that money. And he'd buy us an ounce a day, sometimes a half, sometimes an ounce. Most of the time it was like an ounce. And we'd usually smoke it all in one day. It wasn't like that for that long. It was only like that for around a few months. But I remember that was like just, like we just get to this certain point where we're so high we can't get any higher. We kept smoking anyways, thinking it'd do something. You know, it's trying to exceed the sky, like you're not going anywhere. Like, unless you're trying to freaking die in space. Like fucking, we were so messed up. And after that, I wouldn't be as heavy as a smoker, marijuana, but I keep finding myself that every time like I take a break and then try it again, I'd like always want to do it every single day right after. It was like I take a break, you know, 2 weeks break, and then when I do it, I'd have to do it, and I do it in large amounts. It's like my tolerance builds so quickly. You know, a gram a day goes to an eighth a day goes to a quarter a day in a matter of months, and that's fucking unhealthy. And I was such a heavy smoker, I would run out of money, anything really on anything else but drugs and the nice clothes. And I found myself, after buying those nice clothes, selling them to like fucking Plato's Closet and shit. You know, trying to get a quick buck so I can get high. You know, with my girlfriend, just selling all my clothes to Plato's Closet. Oh yeah, honey, you know, get a ton of money and, you know, go get some new clothes. No, I was going to pick up a bag right after. Like, fuck this, I can get these easy $30 and go pick myself up an eighth or some shit. You know, it was like easy as that, just getting money. And then when I stopped working entirely and doing anything, you know, I was just too lazy to get money. So I started stealing shit, and I stole a lot of stuff from a lot of places. And I'm admitting this to you guys because I'm not really afraid to say it. You know, there's a lot of people that are addicts that have gone through, you know, such bad withdrawal they need to steal in order to live throughout their day. I did that a lot. I'd steal Benadryl from places, and I'd take high amounts of Benadryl to trip off of. And disclaimer, I'm not. If you go and try to trip off Benadryl, you're a complete dumbass, because it doesn't do anything, and all it does is fuck up your brain. Fuck up you. You know, I almost had a tremor from taking so much Benadryl. It's stupid shit. And I took almost close to 70 one night, and I was so incoherent that nobody could make sense of what I was saying, and I was tripped on drugs, and I am. And that's just me. That's because I'm a heavy smoker. When I smoke a lot, and I get so fried. You know, you could tell when I'm fried. I'm fucking out, and it doesn't mix well with me. It can mix well with other people, but that stuff, it really affected us. And you know, you can use weed to help with your, you know, emotional problems or whatever. You know, it can cure depression, but you just got to make sure that you have the right mindset to be able to handle that, because after a while smoking it can produce some sort of psychosis effects depending on your family.
I want to add something to that you just said, that you can use it for depression and stuff. You can, but when you self-medicate with it, chances are that you're not going to do a healthy amount, and you're going to do way too much. If you're going to do it, I'm not going to lie, I am behind the camera, I'm two-faced obviously, but I am prescribed.
Well, you did help. It helped me a lot when I first started doing it. My ADHD, you know, I would argue that, you know, I'd rather be having a 12-year-old smoke weed than take Adderall. That's just me. I know that's fucked up, but that's just me. Because Adderall, you know, that's a lot. You know, weed helps you concentrate and also kind of, you know, it's weed. It fucking makes you feel good. It doesn't have any bad effects except the combustion. You got one of those bad things, you know what I'm talking about. Those things fuck you up, and it's not really that bad for you. It's when you start abusing it is when it's bad for you. You can recognize someone who's abusing it right away. They're taking, you know, fucking 5 hits off a dab pen in like a minute. You know, but there's most people that use it are smart about it. They can use it controlled, not, you know, overdo it. But there's some of us there that just can't control themselves, like drinking. Some people just can't control themselves and they can go deflated. You know what I'm talking about? You know, that seems like a overstatement. It's like you know, kind of exaggerating it a lot, but in a reality, it's kind of true. Not so much that you're just deflated and useless, but more like you're just, you know, you're like lethargic and just in a comatose state. and, you know, have no feeling, and you're just dull and boring. Like I'm saying, not everybody's like that. There is few people that get like that. You gotta remember, marijuana affects everyone differently. Well, I don't mean to rant about marijuana, but just to sum it up, pretty much I would experiment with multiple drugs, experimented with a lot of drugs, from opioids to opiates to, you know, not Suboxone, DXM, stuff I'm not proud of, really disgusting shit. A lot of bad stuff. Acid, I didn't really get and fucking hated it.
I had tried opioids with him. I didn't like downers. I did not like drinking. But that time we did acid together, I fell in love with tripping. I loved tripping. After that first time I did acid, my weed use was to get me to the next time I can get more acid. He said he tripped about 4 or 5 times. I probably tripped on acid about 15 to 20 times. I had done salvia multiple times. This is called like LSA. Anything I could get that made you trip balls, I've used it.
And there was a point where we weren't allowed to see each other for about a year, and it seemed like he started taking psychedelics a lot, and I started taking, you know, downer like Xanax and stuff, drinking a lot. And that's when we both sort of went into our own psychotic state. Him, you know, induced from, you know, acid and other
just fucked up things that really fucked up with my brain.
And I got into, you know, just getting as shit faced as I can off really whatever I could, any pill I could get.
And another difference between, like, the reason I brought it up between the tripping and the drugs that he used was after I had stopped using psychedelics and I tried to drink, fucked up, that I was literally already high. Like, there was nothing you could do to my brain chemicals that would have spiked anything or done anything to me just because of all the times I had tripped. That it just made any drug that I used just not do anything. Because, like, acid literally sparks up your whole brain. But when you smoke pot, it sparks up a little bit here. A downer sparks a little over there. But I just straight up tripped and activated my entire brain for months. Yeah. To the point where my brain, every part of my brain was fried. And nothing at that point did anything to me because I fucked it up so bad.
Wrap it up. So, but they are both very similar, and addiction is addiction. You can be addicted to anything. You see My Strange Addiction, all that, you can be addicted to anything. And the bottom line is we grew from that, and we're done with that, and we experienced it at such a young age that it's almost a good thing that we got it over with now, so we're not stupid enough to touch the stuff later in life. We never did, coke, meth, uppers like that. But like I said, it just. So, anyways, thanks for watching. I know it was a lot of talking, a lot of uncomfortable stuff, but I just wanted to share that. I feel like I get a very every other day, and new material. Expect a music video soon. Anyways, that's it. That's my drug experience and how it really affected my life, my girlfriend's life, my mom's life, my friend's life, and just everybody's life. I'm not proud of it, but I'm here for you guys, so you guys can learn from this. Anyways, I'm Hoodoo Glit. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video.
Actor, asking for favors, casket lavish, silver linings, immortal to the malice cage, to the portal we go to seek for more pay.